welcome everyone. We are Sister Strings, and we are delighted to bring you a musical selection today.
Yes, we are.
We are going to start with this opening number, which is what we like to call Bach It Up. It's our take on a solo Bach suite.
The prelude from the very first Bach suite.
Yes, indeed.
Good morning. Oh my God, that was so beautiful. That was such beautiful music from Sister Strings. Welcome to Unitarian Universalist Church West. Welcome to this community of comfort, connection, challenge, and caring. My name is Deb Ruesch, and as a member of the worship ministry team, I'm glad to be here today leading this service this morning. If you are new to UU Church West, we want to give you an extra special welcome. Checking out a new spiritual community is certainly a courageous act, even in this time of virtual church. But we would love to connect with you. And so if you'd like to leave us a message at visitor@uucw.org, we will be in touch with you. Now I'd like to introduce the many talented people who have contributed to this service today. Our music, as you just heard, is from Sista Strings, featuring sisters Monique Ross on cello and Shantae Ross on violin. You'll be hearing Jennifer Nicolosi, lead music director, on piano in a little bit, and our Reverend Suzelle Lynch contributed something special today as well. I would like to thank Vicki Banville, church administrator, for her assistance, along with Dave Cicero, our director of lifespan education, who is with us on screen, and Kelly Bogner, our publications coordinator, who is working behind the scenes this morning to manage the technology that makes this all possible. Of course, a very special thank you goes out to our pulpit guest this morning, the Reverend Dr. Monica L. Cummings. Dr. Cummings is the Assistant Minister for Pastoral Care at Bradford Community Church, Unitarian Universalist. Reverend Dr. Cummings is trained in trauma-sensitive yoga and meditation, which influences her practice and identity as a substance abuse counselor in training at the Beloved Wellness Center in Kenosha, Wisconsin. She believes that for some people, talk therapy alone is not enough to heal from trauma, and that basic yoga poses and meditation can help support people in reconnecting with themselves mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually in the healing process. Her sermon today is called Listening to Our Breath and Our Body. And it's funny to me how Spirit always seems to pair me with the very guide and teachings I most need to hear when I coordinate these services. I had the pleasure of working with Dr. Cummings the last time she was our guest minister, and I feel blessed to have the honor of serving with her again. On behalf of our congregations and guests who have come together this morning, we welcome and thank you for being here with us today.
I invite you to read with me this month's chalice lighting words, which were included in the order of service sent out to members earlier this week. We will then light our own chalices to begin this sacred time together. Does the chalice make a sound when we light the flame? Is there a song in the flame's dance? When we listen deeply, we give our attention to what matters: truth, justice, hope, love, joy, and our good planet Earth. But let us remember, between spoken words, there must be room for breath, and lines of music are made more beautiful by rests. We light this chalice for deep listening.
Thank you, Dave. Please join me now for hymn 1031, Filled with Loving Kindness. The words are in your order of service that was emailed to those of you on our email list, and it is also linked on the website where you tuned in for this service. Please note that accompaniment was recorded for this by Jennifer Nicolosi, but I felt moved by the theme of this service to sing it a cappella today. I invite you to participate in whatever way your breath and body desires, whether you choose to stand, sit, move, or be still, sing along, read aloud, read silently, or simply listen. May its beautiful message of healing be a blessing to you. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be whole. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be whole. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be whole.
Many of us these days look forward to walks near our home as vital opportunities to get out of the house and enjoy some fresh air. But I know I get a bit tired of the same scenery over and over again. But what if we were to approach every trip with a beginner's mind, trying to notice everything as if it were our first time? Imagine the wonder we would experience. What would we notice? What would we hear?
The Listening Walk by Paul Showers, illustrated by Aliki. Published by HarperCollins. I like to take walks. I take walks with my father and our dog. Our dog is called Major. He's an old dog and does not walk very fast. We go down to the street and don't talk, but my father puts his hands in his pockets and thinks. Major walks ahead and sniffs. I keep still and listen. I call this a listening walk. On a listening walk, I don't talk. I listen to all the different sounds. I hear many different sounds when I don't talk. First, I hear Major's toenails on the sidewalk. Major has long toenails. When he walks, his toenails scratch the sidewalk. They go twick, 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 twick. I hear my father's shoes on the sidewalk. My father walks slowly, and his shoes go dup, doop, dop, doop. I can't hear my shoes. I wear sneakers. I hear all sorts of sounds on a listening walk. I listen to sounds that I never listened to before. I listen to lawnmowers. Lawnmowers are noisy. A lawnmower makes a steady zooming noise. It goes like this. Zoom. I listen to lawn sprinklers. Lawn sprinklers are very quiet. They make different sounds. Some sprinklers make a steady whispering sounds like this. Other sprinklers turn round and round and go like this. Whit, 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 whit. On a listening walk, I hear cars in the street. The shiny new cars are quiet. They make only a soft hmm. But old cars are very noisy. Old cars sound like this. Bracka, 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 bracka. When cars go around the corner too fast, the tires go whirr. And when they stop quickly, the brakes go ee. On a listening walk, I hear all kinds of sounds. A bicycle bell ringing. Tring, tring. A baby crying. Wah, 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 wah. A jet flies over. Jets are very noisy when they're overhead. A jet goes yow. A boy runs by, dribbling his basketball. Bump, 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 bump. A lady hurries by us. She's wearing high heels. The lady's high heels go bick-bock, bick-bock, bick-bock. A bus is coming. The lady starts to run. Bick, 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 bick. The bus stops at the corner. Psh. The lady gets on, and the bus starts up again. True. Around the corner, men are digging up the street. They're using a jackhammer. It makes a loud banging sound. Tack, 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 tack. The jackhammer hurts my ears, so I put my hands over my ears as we walk by. Tack, 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 tack. Sometimes my father and I take Major to the park. It's quiet there. The sounds in the park are not loud like the noises in the street. My father and I walk down a shady path. I don't talk. I listen. I listen to my father's shoes on the path where they make a soft sound. They go chuff, 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 chuff. I listen to the birds in the park. I listen to the pigeons and the ducks. The pigeons fly down to meet us. They want us to feed them. The pigeons puff up their feathers, take little tiny steps. They come toward us, nodding their heads. They say, proo, proo, proo. At the pond, the ducks are waiting. They want us to feed them, too. The small ducks swim up close. They turn their heads on one side and look up at us. The small ducks waggle their tails and quack. They say, gank, gank, wonk, wonk, gank, gank. The big ducks are not so brave. They stay back and swim around in circles. The big ducks look at us, but they don't come close. The big ducks say, gank, gank, gank. Sometimes I hear a woodpecker in the park. The woodpecker sounds like a little hammer. He goes, rat-a-tat-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat-tat. In the park, I hear crickets in the grass. The crickets go, greet, greet, greet. I hear the wind in the leaves. It whispers, shh. I hear bees in the flowers. Bzzz. It's fun to go on a listening walk. You don't have to go far. You can walk around the block and listen. You can walk around your yard and listen. You don't even have to take a walk to hear sounds. There are sounds everywhere, all the time. All you have to do is keep still and listen to them. Right now there are sounds you can hear. When I finish this page, I'll close the book and let's listen. How many sounds can you hear right now? Let's count them.
Let's take a moment to listen. What are you hearing? I hear the candle behind me. As the wax burns, it's flickering. I can actually hear that. I can actually hear my wife across the room breathing. I actually hear a truck or something going by on the street down the block. I think I might even hear some rain dripping off the house outside the window over to my side here. There's 4 things that I might not have noticed had I not been paying close attention. Our elementary students in our early online religious education class last Sunday shared with me some of the sounds that they enjoy listening for in nature. The birds, the cicadas, the wind. And this week, we learned that by listening to our heart, we might just hear what our spirit is telling us, but only if we're paying close attention. If you or your child would like to be part of next month's classes, please be sure to register them at uucw.org.
So today we want to take time to encourage everyone to definitely sit back and take the time and figure out how you in your life and in the various roles you find yourself in can be an agent of change in the most authentic way to yourself possible, right? And of course we always stretch and grow, but there's definitely power in finding where you're at right now and finding the best way to be an agent of change and be a bridge, so to speak. And today we bring that encouragement through the song Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Absolutely.
Water you, why don't you let it be? Still water runs in, yes it do. Oh yeah, don't trouble the water. Live alone, why don't you let it be? Still water runs in, yes it do. Oh yeah. Thank you so much. Be blessed, you all.
Another soul-stirring performance by Sista Strings. They are so talented. Thank you, ladies, for being here with us today. We are blessed having you with us. And now, please get comfortable in your chairs and join us for a special video meditation with the Reverend Suzelle Lynch. It will be of hymn 1009, Meditation on Breathing. So if you know the music and you want to sing along, feel free, or just listen and enjoy.
The song I'd like to share with you is called Meditation on Breathing, and it was created by Unitarian Universalist composer Sarah Dan Jones. It's part of a larger composition she wrote just after September 11th, 2001, when she found herself filled with despair and longing to channel that despair into hope. The song has 3 parts, and I hope that you'll join with me. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out in, I'll breathe out loud. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out in, I'll breathe out loud. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out loud. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out loud. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love.
It is good to be back with UU Church West. I thank the worship committee and everyone involved in the service this morning. The beautiful music, thank you so much, and indeed feeds my spirit. Words have power. Most of us have heard that before. Many of us have been told, watch what you say, because that is what you will manifest in your life. The following rhyme is something I remember from my childhood. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That statement is true and not true. Words cannot break my bones. However, research shows that verbal abuse can be as damaging as physical abuse. Words do hurt, often leaving invisible wounds. Words said by bullies can leave invisible scar tissue that can last a lifetime. Words said by bullies once confined to classrooms, playgrounds, schoolyards, and workplaces. Now people can be bullied online in their bedrooms and basements. And the words we say to ourselves, the self-critical things we say to ourselves, messages from others that we internalize that seep into our psyche and cause us to bully ourselves. Words can also be healing. A kind word from a loved one or stranger can make a rainy day feel full of sunshine. It can lift our mood and our attitude. Words have power. Words have vibration. We experience the vibration of words on at least two levels, the level of hearing and the level of feeling. Let's try an exercise. Think back to a time when you heard someone say something unkind or hurtful. While you are thinking about the experience, what do you notice happening in your body? Your breath, your neck, shoulders, your stomach, your back, your posture. Are you sitting or standing tall, or is your head down and your shoulders hunched forward? How do you feel now just thinking about the experience? Next, think back to a time when you heard someone say something kind or loving. While you're thinking about that experience, what do you notice happening in your body? Your breath, your neck, your shoulders, your stomach, your back. Are you sitting or standing tall, or is your head bowed forward? How do you feel now just thinking about that experience? We are feeling beings. We are beings that from birth feel deeply. In the process of living and depending on the culture that influences our living, feeling was subjugated to thinking, even though the seed of thought is triggered by a feeling. Our breath and our bodies are constantly communicating to us. When I was in South Africa training as a community development and education volunteer in the US Peace Corps, this connection took on a whole new meaning for me. The first 3 months in a host country is a period for training, wherein content experts from government and nonprofit organizations spend time teaching volunteers about the host country's culture, language, and other topics that would support our service to our host community. The security training was done by a security expert from the US Embassy in South Africa. During the training, the instructor referenced the book, The Gift of Fear, and other survival signals that protect us from violence. One of the questions the author would ask his clients who are victims of violence is, could you have seen this coming? Most often the client would say, no, it just came out of nowhere. However, the author continued, if I am quiet, if I wait a moment, here comes the information. The client, upon reflection, would state, I felt uneasy when I first met the guy, or now that I think of it, I was suspicious when he approached me. Most of us have had the experience of feeling the hair on the back of our neck stand up, or a tight feeling in our stomach. We sense something is wrong without really knowing what is triggering the feeling. Some people call it intuition, others call it a primal instinct for survival. Before our minds comprehend an experience, our bodies are communicating to us. However, as Western culture developed and became the dominant way of seeing and being in the world, the intellect was favored over the body and feeling. Intellect was positioned to rule over all other processes involved in being human, resulting in most people learning to ignore signals from their bodies, ignoring the chest pain before a heart attack, talking ourselves out of the uneasy feeling we have when we're around a certain person, denying feeling fatigued until an illness confines us to bed. While our brains and bodies are sending us messages, so is our breath. Have you ever watched a sleeping baby breathe? It is a tutorial on how to breathe naturally. We come into the world intuitively knowing how to breathe naturally, how to breathe into our belly so that it rises with each inhale and falls with each exhale. Let's do a breathing exercise. Close your eyes if you are comfortable and breathe as you normally breathe for the next minute. Breathe as you normally breathe. How is that to just breathe? Now for the next 10 breaths, we are going to do an experiment with another breathing exercise. Place your left hand on your chest and your right hand on your belly. As you inhale, what happens with your hands? Does one hand rise? Which one? Do both hands rise? If so, in what order? Now, as you exhale, what happens with your hands? Does one hand fall? Which one? Do both hands fall? If so, in what order? When we were born, our natural way of breathing, at least for most of us, was with the belly and chest. However, during the course of maturing, experience, role models, and what we learned from our culture, most of us stopped belly breathing and learned to chest breathe only. The author of the book, Refining the Breath, The Art of Awakened Breath, states, thus the breath has its own associated experiences and awarenesses. For better or for worse. Attentiveness to the breath and its relationship to our experience and emotions can reveal some of the following associations. I'm just going to run through the following list of emotions in the relationship to breathing, and then go into more detail later. And I'll prompt you. So if you want to record what I say when I go into more detail, I will prompt you to do so. So don't worry about taking notes or doing anything now. Just listen to what I'm saying, and then I'm going to double back and go through the material, matching emotions with breathing, and then give you instructions on some breathing exercises, okay? So here we go. Anger often comes with shallow inhalations, strong exhalations, and physical tension. Fear often comes with quick, shallow, and irregular breaths and the feeling of a tight knot in the belly. Grief often comes with a kind of spasmodic, sobbing, superficial breath made up of quick, jerky inhalations and long sighing exhalations, and a feeling of emptiness in the belly. Depression often comes with shallow, lifeless inhalations and long sighing exhalations, and sensation of thickness, fatigue, and dullness to sensation. Impatience often comes with short, uncoordinated breaths and a feeling of tension in the front of the chest, as if our heart wants to leap out ahead of us. Guilt or remorse often comes with a restricted, suffocating breath and a sensation of oppressive heaviness. Boredom often comes with shallow, lifeless breath and little sensation at all. Positive feelings such as love, compassion, kindness, and wonder often come with deep, comfortable, and energizing breathing, and an open, affirming, and enthusiastic feeling throughout the body. In the days leading up to November 3rd, and until the results of the election, many of us will most likely experience at least one of the above mentioned emotions. I invite you to practice breath sensing. Now I'm going to go into more detail with the information I just gave you on how breathing and emotions are connected. And I am also going to offer some breathing exercises for you to do on your own. And so keep in mind, I am not going to have you do the entire breathing exercise. I'm going to give you instructions so you have an idea on how to do the breathing exercise. And then you can practice it on your own. So if you want to begin recording this or taking notes, the time to get paper and pencil and something to record with is now. All right. So check in with yourself multiple times a day and note what is happening in the external world and what is happening in your internal world, and how both are impacting your body and your breath. If your inhalations are shallow, exhalations are strong, and you feel tension in your body, that could be a signal that anger is present. Bring awareness to what is happening around and in you, and note what is triggering anger. Bring your awareness and focus on breathing mindfully. Place your left hand on your chest and your right hand on your belly, and focus on your belly and chest rising with each inhalation and falling with each exhalation. Do this for at least 10 breath cycles. Fear often comes with quick, shallow, and irregular breaths and the feeling of a tight knot in the belly. Note what is triggering the fear response. Bring awareness to the breath. Inhale through the nose slowly for 4 seconds. Pause for about a heartbeat. Then exhale through the nose slowly for 6 seconds. And so you're going to inhale for the 4 seconds, pause, and then you're going to exhale for the full 6 seconds. And so it'll go like this. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, pause. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do that for at least 6 breath cycles. Spasmodic, sobbing, superficial breath with quick, jerky inhalations and long sighing exhalations and a feeling of emptiness in the belly could be a sign of grief. Bring your awareness to your breath. Mentally count backwards from 7 to 1 while breathing like this. 7, inhaling, stomach rising and expanding. 7, exhaling, stomach releasing and relaxing. 6, inhaling, stomach rising and expanding. 6, exhaling, stomach releasing and relaxing. 5, inhaling, stomach rising and expanding. 5, exhaling, stomach releasing and relaxing. Continue counting with your body's own natural breathing rhythm. If you lose count, start again at 7. Depression often comes with shallow, lifeless inhalations and long sighing exhalations and sensation of thickness, fatigue, and dullness to sensation. Bring awareness to what is happening around you. Next, shift your attention from the outer world to the inner world and notice what thoughts are passing through your mind. Bring awareness to your breath and focus on breathing mindfully. This time, mentally count from 1 to 7 while breathing like this. 1, inhaling, stomach rising and expanding. 1, exhaling, stomach releasing and relaxing. 2, inhaling, stomach rising and expanding. 2, exhaling, stomach releasing and relaxing. 3, inhaling, stomach rising and expanding. 3, exhaling, stomach releasing and relaxing. Continue counting with your body's own natural breathing rhythm. If you lose count, start again at 1. Impatience often comes with short, unconscious breaths and a feeling of tension in the front of the chest as if our heart wants to leap out ahead of us. Bring your awareness to your breath and focus on breathing mindfully. Place your left hand on your chest and your right hand on your belly, and focus on your belly and chest rising with each inhalation and falling with each exhalation. And do that for at least 6 breath cycles. We are feeling beings. Listening to our breath and body can support us in healing, wellness, and being resilient as we engage life on life's terms. Not thinking or believing how things should or ought to be. Instead, acknowledging how things are in this moment and mindfully responding and engaging in each moment. Listening to the subtle messages our breath and body send us countless times a day. Mindful of how our external world, including the words people say about and say to us, can influence our inner world. Being mindfully aware that words have vibrations that touch us deeply on the level of hearing and the level of feeling. And knowing that we have the power to heal and learn to be well from the inside out. Building internal resilience to thrive in the outer world by listening to our breath and our body.
UU Church West's Split the Plate program is one of outreach and generosity. Each month, we give half of all undesignated offerings to a nonprofit organization to help us live out our Unitarian Universalist values and serve our community. As a minority-run nonprofit organization, Housing Resources Incorporated has provided education and financial assistance to numerous potential first-time homebuyers over the past 29 years. To support Housing Resources Incorporated anytime this month, you can go to the UUCW website's Donate tab and select Split the Plate Fund from the menu provided. Or you can text or mail your donation today using the information you'll see on your screen in just a moment. I thank you for your generosity to Unitarian Universalist Church West and to our November Split the Plate partner, Housing Resources Incorporated. The act of sending healing energy into the world is known by many names. I prefer to call it prayer. Will you pray with me? As we leave this sacred space online of fellowship and go our different ways this morning, may we all go with more love than we came with. May we all go with more peace in our hearts and our spirits than we came with. May we go with more compassion than we came with. I invite you to pause throughout the week and the coming weeks. And remember, you are a part of the interconnected web
of life. Don't forget to bless a stranger with a smile or even a hello. Tell people in your life how much they mean to you. And take a moment each day, beginning today, to say thank you for all that you have. Let us all help create the world that we want to live in. Let us feel our connection to the source of life. May we all feel our connection to our breath and our bodies. Let us live our beliefs and feel at one with everyone and everything. Blessings upon you, blessings upon me, blessings upon every living thing. Blessed be, and amen.